a woman discovered that the bride in the photo seemed to be blinking. She curiously leaned in to take a closer look. Suddenly, the bride in the photo came to life. Then the woman was pulled into the photo's world. During the time the woman was missing, her boyfriend anxiously contacted the real estate company, requesting to cancel the purchase of this house. Ruth noticed the man's nervous demeanor. She sensed something might be wrong with the man's new house, so she brought her subordinate to inspect the man's house, but they found nothing unusual in the room. Just as Ruth was about to leave, she suddenly noticed an old photo in the corner. When she crouched down to examine it closely, the bride in the photo came to life again. Before Ruth could react, she was pulled into the photo. The subordinate heard the noise and rushed over, but couldn't find any trace of Ruth. The subordinate thought Ruth was just playing a prank, and didn't take the matter seriously. He casually took the old photo back to the office, but just after returning to the company, he met a man who was looking for Ruth. Jack learned that Ruth wasn't there. As he was about to leave, he accidentally noticed this photo. Jack immediately spotted something strange. He quickly took the photo to find his friend. From his friend, he learned this photo was actually a virtual world. Its true owner wasn't the bride in the photo, but rather the man standing next to the bride. This man was greedy for beautiful women. Any girl he took a liking to would be trapped in the photo to marry him. After hearing his friend's words, Jack realized Ruth was likely trapped in the photo. So following his friend's instructions, he brought an old camera to an old mansion, pointed the camera at the mansion's entrance. When he pressed the shutter, Jack took a leap, finally successfully entering the world inside the photo. He discovered a wedding ceremony taking place ahead. The groom had 7 brides. Jack was sure Ruth was among them, but all the brides had their faces covered with sleeves. He couldn't recognize which one was Ruth. While Jack was feeling troubled, he was bumped into by a boy serving wine. The boy recognized Jack wasn't from the photo world. Then Jack was brought before the groom. It turned out the groom was a 1,000-year-old turtle. This world was created by him. If Jack forcefully tried to harm him, this world would collapse. The 7 brides would never be able to return to the real world, but Jack only wanted to mind his own business. He said he just wanted to take Ruth back. The old turtle immediately agreed to Jack's request. If Jack could quickly identify Ruth, he would let them leave. But there was only one chance. If he chose wrong, Jack would have to leave alone. Though they all had identical figures and clothes, Jack thought of a good method. He conjured a butterfly in his hand, letting it search for the woman with lotus fragrance. Because Ruth's blood carried the scent of lotus, the butterfly quickly found Ruth. The servant brought Ruth before Jack, but she had already been controlled by the old turtle. She had a blank expression, unable to recognize Jack before her. No matter how Jack called her name, she remained completely unresponsive.